Hey team Ivanti. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity to work on this application. So I never worked. My experience is not on Windows app, and I would say uh, this was mind blowing. Thank you so much. So let's move on. Let's not waste our time. So it's been already morning, 6:30, and I didn't sleep. I need to go to bed. Okay. So here it is. Well, already we know it's been like, an amazing application, completely feature-centric, and it is not user-centric. But honestly, the feedback, what I saw from the forums and also with from other website as well as even the reviews and questionnaires, I truly understood. Um, People have adopted, and also the quick feedback what they are getting, I don't say quick, but there are feedbacks which are completely easy for them to move on and adopt. And so that is the reason, like, more or less people have adopted this application, I would say. It's an adoptive experience, just like when the cycle was invented, two-wheeler, the bicycle, people thought how they could ride this, but today it's already an adopted experience. So just like that, this has been adopted uh, in nature. Of course, they didn't do a kind of an extensive upgrade. Maybe I would say like the fear of losing the clients because they have already adopted to the present app. So even though there are minor UI changes, but not kind of I would say intact, interactive aspects. So let us see how we went on with. So the process which I followed was like research, heuristic review of present application. So I don't have a Windows at home, so I went to a cyber cafe and recorded, and that has been updated too with this presentation. And competitive analysis, you are going to see down the line, and user feedback, as I told you, like with all the forums and the comments, their comments, their ratings, everything, it's mind-blowing. Even now the documentation, everything which I saw, of course, I felt like there should be a more intuitive, easy, and interactive help and support. So you will see how I came up with the innovative idea to help uh, users as well as even the business side. I would say the admins, I don't want to waste their time, and so you will see like how I have simplified that experience uh, within the app, not wasting anyone's time. um, so use cases, there were like so many paper prototypes which I came up with, so that's how it landed here. Flow diagrams, even they are on the paper. Now, paper prototypes, of course. You will see all the collages which I have added within presentation as well as the document which I have shared. Then user interface design followed the Windows Fluent design system. Also understood how they have done. Um, Again, the interaction, then the documentation. Right now, the video documentation, which I'm doing, as well as the PDF documentation, which I will be sharing. So here is a kind of a review. You would see like all the scattered navigation moving here and there, completely complex, and also they have given numbers so that, like, as I told you, like it's like, they just try to push most of the actions, but uh, at least for where users can be friendly, they have made like they have given the numbers there. So, and this is something which is completely outdated, and here I would more or less, I don't see these are like user intended. If user wants, then only we can show, else we could leave. Even multiple actions, like if we are using multiple actions, one applies, one really doesn't apply, and it's completely a mess. And also the grouping of the actions needs to be very intuitive, so that's not done. So more or less, I have marked most of the actions. This, you can see this in the document too. So the complete application is completely bulky, but with feature-centric, but adaptive, completely adaptive in nature. So my key findings went on like where how the users will get their help from the forum support, even YouTube, and still they do love this application. Even the competitors have the same issues. And the opportunity what I found was like, the user needs as well as latent needs and the interaction experience, as well as I told you, a complete interactive machine learning and AI-based voice assist robust help center, which could fetch, which already has all the data within the data center, which could fetch and support to the user. Well, these are the competitive analysis. You will see this an Excel sheet which I have shared. So file renumber basic and deluxe, that was one of the competitor which I fetched, as well as the rename 6, renumber 6. This is completely for Mac. I just took like, to have both the sides to understand more. Users, there are general users who really don't use application extensively. What they do is like just copy and modify, replace whatever they want, and then add some numbers and add if there are any necessary, then add the dates and things like this, and they are done. Of course, they are always ready to switch for anywhere. Advanced users, of course, means I would say like it's not only for them, but also for general users. At the beginning stage, it is slightly, the interaction is slightly messy, but slowly they are ready to adopt. They do use really the lot of regular expressions and CSV and JavaScript files. So yeah, again, these are the needs which have chunked out. And you will see like even the requirement went on away for even for web, Mac OS X, Linux, etc., and also access for like right now we don't have access for G Drive. I would say like the cloud. With that, the labeling and all these things completely right now. The flow of the actions are scattered. So we don't know that. So you will see those things. And this is the prototype. I would say like the flow diagram, paper prototype, interactive actions, which I tried to come up with. So all those things I had just made a collage. And the mood board. So this is something for the inspiration. It truly really helped a lot, because I would say I'm not well versed with Microsoft Fluent Design System. So okay, and again there are the few inspirations from design system. And then here it is. The landing page is so much intuitive, simplified, and then user-friendly. So these are completely disabled, and the user can select or drag and drop multiple files and multiple folders. So that interaction also I'm gonna explain down the line. Or they can access from any cloud. As I told you, the voice assist for help and support. Again here, this is the only action which they can use. These are disabled, where like they can hide any actions, unwanted actions for them. Did I jump? Okay, So once I drag and drop my files, it gives a clear indication about um, what is the folder, and this is going to be something like, it will show the tooltip will show the link to, and even if you click on this, the window will open. So just to make sure the user is eased with the interaction as well, it is a close action, and again that has a certain interaction which really I didn't design, where it is going to ask like, are you sure you want to close this folder and things like that. And still this is not enabled, and you can see the sudden appearance of few actions, and that's going to be a list. So even I just removed unwanted button. I would say more or less most of the actions simplified as much as possible. So there is only revert and save, rename files. Let us move on. Well, here is the way, just like the way we use Photoshop, Illustrator. We have at the top intact folder, multiple folders. So the same interaction has been applied here, showcasing multiple folders. Once the user selects, then the actions enables even these actions, more or less. And here is the voice assist. So user can speak if he's accessed with the mic, then he can speak. Based on that, it will interact. Completely a user-friendly, interactive voice over help and support system. Even he can type and he can get the feedback through voice as well as text. And at the same time, any kind of a question, whatever he has, immediately, rather than going for a forum or rather than going for a YouTuber searching the whole document, bulky, hulky document, it simplifies his complete actions so that he gets everything on time within some minutes. So that is the whole idea of this voice assist. How the actions are enabled? Let's move on. Okay, so here is more towards the interaction. So you can see this is more or less like a switch, and once that is clicked, user is completely I would say focused, and it is very simplified. He really don't need, he's not confused, I would say. So he clicks, and the window, dialog window, which is completely a free floating action component where they can move on. And the segregation also, the way I made, remove from name, is something more or less most of the people use, and accordingly I have aligned all the actions. Even within this, there were a few unwanted elements which I have removed, as well as few of the actions which I have applied. Here, once he is done with the action, he can just apply, so it reflects. This is for replacing the name, word, characters, etc. Once he clicks, it opens, and this is quite simplified rather than before, and which also gives an indication of how they are integrated. So once the user types what and all he want to replace, and he can quickly replace. And the ellipsis provides the user, there are people who do really use expressions. I saw those videos, you will see with the reference link. So if they want to go ahead with regular expressions, they can just click on, and then it appears. So that is the interaction what I have shown here. And of course, they can go with regular expressions. Well, here's the window for adding word, date, and numbers, etc. So previously, I would say, as I told you, like I compiled uh, the majority of the actions based on the intentions of the users. So add is something which aligns with all these below aspects, like the adding word or character, numbers, date, etc. So I just compiled all these things and grouped them and given the experience. Well, as I explained, this is completely a free floating form, and they can, like, drag and drop, not drop, drag all the components here and there and freely work within the available window, even though if it is full screen. So this is something where with right now actions, when they are doing the changing the file name, how exactly it reflects on the modified stage. And something, the modified things were not, means there was no notification for the users. So at the bottom we have a strip which will show like whether it is successful or not. At the same time, there was no error and info message at all with present system. So what I did is, like, again at the bottom, it will show, and sometimes like the users may use so much bulk documents, and they may find some errors, and it is very, very difficult to find each and every issues and fix them. So that is something which was a greatest requirement. Even when I tried, I understood, like, I need, because my first file is somewhere at the top, and my second file is somewhere in the middle, and a lot of files are there in the bottom, and I have to juggle a lot to fix those things. Of course, there are like few JavaScript as well as with the expressions which we can fix, but that's kind of a time consuming going and finding them. And here it shows, like, show errors. So once that is clicked, the number of errors, it's been clear. So once that is clicked, this kind of a popover window opens, and it gives a clear indication about, like, what is the file, and whether he can jump, and what is the error. So few things he can ignore, so those things he can ignore easily, as well as if he wants, he can ignore everything for now, else he can jump and make the necessary changes. Well, coming to the next actions, the filter, more or less, people do use many, and at the same time they don't too. And ultimately, sometime while working with a folder, and where we have so many different files, and sometime I may have to change names specifically to the extensions. I would say, like, I have to change the name only for text files, or I have to change name for text files and only zip files. Then rest I can just deselect and apply. So then again I can go and back and forth. I can just filter accordingly and change the names. And this is something like, right now within this folder there are no MP4 to select with, so that is disabled. I'm sorry. So this is for the complete table. Anyhow, this cannot be selected or deselected, so that is the reason it is disabled. And all these things they can apply. And the modification name, the setting provides an option where user can deselect any of the option and like apply, and that disappears from here. Of course, if they want, it is just one click and enable. Most of them, like, they don't use special actions, or they may use regular expressions and they may not use REST. So just a simple interaction. And above the table, we have so much of bulk data, and even right now, whatever I have bought in multiple folders, this is going to be like a huge number of total files. So it provides clear indication with selected folder, with total number as well as selected folder data at the bottom here. But once you hover, it will show a whole complete total files with, like, what is the folder name and what and all are, how many files, what and all types of files which you have. So that's the interaction which has been developed. The whole tooltips, we can't miss it. Well, that's me here smiling. Okay, these are something which I missed. I really didn't work on main menu interaction. Even like, after save, like how the actual interaction works, like a confirmation message and then, like, saved successful message, as well as when I have to add more files, so that interaction. With all these things, even the interactive clickable prototype, these are the things which I missed. I'm sorry. The references which I went on with, almost everything has been added here. There were like in Medium, also from Anil Kaushik, even he has done the case study, as well as one more with slide share, and few from Fluent Design as well as from Behance. Well, we are at the end of the stage. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot, Team Ivanti. It was really an amazing experience which I had working with this application. I'm just waiting for your feedback. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Catch you guys soon.